next show.
Wait, how can we see them in the next show?
Sorry,
Show?
I'm looking at the old string of chat, and now I have to go to the new string of chat.
Has anyone made any alarming announcements? Is there anything important that we need to
we've
think
had
about?
Jokes, and we've had people saying hi.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
All right, for anybody who's wondering,
yes,
the scourge of spoonerisms that marked the agenda in the last... That's over.
Oh, it is.
I didn't think we could probably stand 2 half-hour segments that were riddled with spoonerisms.
You are wrong.
Now, Robbie, you started the show by saying how weak you felt and how sad. I'm trying to take it easy on you, friend. I don't want you to just turn into a puddle. I would not want to co-host a show with a puddle. That would be so boring. The Matthew and Puddle Show. It doesn't have a ring to it. I'd have to keep looking down at the floor and be like, what do you think, Puddle? And the Puddle would just say...
What was it that I was supposed to do last time?
What do you mean?
Wretch.
Oh, scobbing wretch. Well, scobby wretches. Instead of Robbie sketches, we had scobby wretches, which was so great. I love that one. Sometimes things are very delicious. Oh, all right. I need to find something riff.
Jane drew the entire world today. How did you do that,
How did you do that?
That sounds like quite a project that I'm glad is not mine.
Okay, I found it.
And El Puppy ate lettuce.
Well, I love lettuce.
Thank
you, El Puppy. For our friends are giving us some lettuce. We're going to go harvest it from their home garden later on today. Thank you, Friends with Lettuce.
Yes.
All right, The Real McCoys, May 19th, 2020.
Greetings. We haven't done greetings. Hello.
Hi, my name is Matthew Swanson. I'm an author. This is my co-conspirator, Puddle. This is the Puddle.
Puddle, and I wretch.
Bleh, 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 bleh. That's sort of the sound of a puddle, I guess, with a drip falling into it, getting slightly bigger and going slightly, bleh, bleh, bleh.
That's not what it sounds like, but okay.
El Puppy,
nice try.
El Puppy, why is there such enthusiasm about the lettuce? Was it really good lettuce? I mean, I thank you for telling us once. Why did lettuce get mentioned 8 times? I want to know how you justified telling us that 8 times.
Was it like spectacular lettuce?
Yeah, please tell more. This is insufficient. Can we drink water?
Water.
Can we drink some water? Wink Drotter.
Cheers.
All right, here we go.
I need to hear a little bit more about Jane drawing the entire world.
And why? Was that part of school,
That
Jane?
sounds like a nightmare.
You know what I bet? I bet she's going to conquer the world, and she needed to claim her territory in writing so that she can present that document.
Oh, the whole school year I practiced it by parts, and today I drew the whole thing as the test. So you had to know where all the countries were.
Jane, could you please take a photograph of your drawing and send it to us so we can share it? If I had to do a test, you guys, where there was a blank world map,
that would be super fun.
And it would be fun. It would be so embarrassing to me.
It would be super embarrassing.
I bet I would not know where basic things were. I bet I used to know all of the U.S. state capitals. I bet I couldn't pass that test anymore.
State capital of Minnesota.
Duluth? No. Minneapolis? St. Paul? I don't know.
St. Paul?
I just don't know anymore, you guys. It's really embarrassing. It's not Hibbing. That's in Montana. That's what I know. All right.
Hibbing is not the capital of Montana, though.
I know, but it's in
town in
Montana.
Montana.
That's where Bob Dylan is from. That's why I know it. Hibbing, Montana. All right.
Were we asking about where Bob Dylan is from?
No, but I was.
Cities where Bob Dylan is from?
I was telling.
No.
You may have been asking. I was telling. I was sharing my knowledge. I was saying things that are important to me about U.S. geography. The capital of Minnesota is not important to me.
You were sharing a random tidbit of information to make
birthplace
yourself seem smart because
Dylan
you didn't know
important.
what the actual
You don't either, my friend. You have no conviction around it.
Montana?
Minneapolis. Thank you.
No.
Oh, didn't you live in that part of the country at some point,
Yes.
E? I think.
I feel like, do you know what the capital of Maryland is?
I do. I do. It's not what you think.
No.
It's not Chestertown. You'd think it would be. We are the county seat. We are the county seat of Kent County. What happens here?
Matthew's theme song number 2.
Hit it!
Yes, we need to rock
Mix
it up a little bit.
Robbie, here, I'm going to dance with Megan while my theme song happens. You right? Guys, this is the actual Megan. Robbie, show Buttons the imposter. Buttons was impersonating Megan. They're both so adorable that I couldn't tell them apart.
This is false.
Robbie, do not lie to the people.
No one was impersonating anyone else. Matthew was incapable of telling them apart.
Megan.
That's Matthew's problem.
It's so nice to see you, Megan, with no H. All right, here we go. Come on. 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Fan club.
The reason I ride with Megan is that she rocks hard. She knows how to really. She can bang the heads. All right.
It is Annapolis. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One would think that it was Baltimore.
One would
but
not
it is
be
Annapolis.
correct. Oftentimes, they are small cities that you would not expect.
Like like Pennsylvania.
Yeah?
You would think it would be Philadelphia.
No, it's Harrisburg!
Yes.
Okay,
Boo.
we're done with that. What does that say?
But it's also the same is true for countries, because most people from other countries would probably think that New York City is our capital.
And it was until Alexander Hamilton
Sold
made
it
a deal.
off.
Sold New York City down the river. Alexander Hamilton did it. Was a presidential imperative to deliver. Something like that. You guys, Hamilton is coming on July 3rd to Disney Plus. We're not announcing it, and we're not advertising for them, but we are super excited. All right. Yes, you did help to make that song, E. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Alden likes buttons more. Alden,
Thank you,
I'm a little
Alden.
disappointed in your taste, my friend. Reading of
thoughtful
viewer submitted email. All right. The very same reader who suggested that we host a special contest this week to come up with the neologism sent me a follow-up email. After she watched yesterday's show, she rightly felt I bungled the deployment of neologisms.
Oh.
I am characterizing her very diplomatic response. She said, "This man needs help. I'm going to offer it." I must say, this is a very intelligently and carefully written email. One of the things I admire most is when people can articulate themselves very well in writing. I admired Jennifer's email. Let me say that in advance. All right? Hi, Matthew. I watched your shows after I mowed the lawn, missing the live broadcast. But I thought I'd assist in your neologistic examples. I'm assuming neologistic is a word, or it is now. In truth, you, Matthew, frequently create words during the show. And commonly, a neologistic word is the result of merging two words together. Much like finding the perfect blend of Robbie and Matthew, a la Brangelina, which is how Brad and Angelina are known, where the name merging thing caught on.
They're no longer Brangelina.
That's okay. Here are
news.
Here are Jennifer's suggestions.
Okay.
Mobby.
Yes.
Mobby. Robu, like Matthew. Robu. Bearson. I like Bearson.
Robu Bearson.
How about
like
Mobby
that.
Bearson? Mobby Bearson. I like that. If we ever
Robu Bearson.
If we ever needed to wear the same tunic, and wander
at
around,
some point we're probably going to. We spend all of our time together.
I don't want to be in a tunic with you. I love you, but I want to have freedom of mobility. But neologisms take other forms. I thought some current ones might be interesting to the audience. As you pointed out, these are words that didn't exist previously. These words came about due to current technology. Cyberspace. Okay? Cyberspace was born of the need to describe this new area that was created.
Was cyber a word beforehand?
I think so.
Okay.
Google. All right? Google as an entity. Before it was...
to Google, yeah.
Right. Crowdsourcing. All right?
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
Spam.
So, okay, just so you guys know, crowdsourcing means to...
That's what we did with the story yesterday.
Yes, it means to sort of tap into a larger group of people to get ideas.
All right? Spam, not talking about the food, but talking about the stuff that goes in your inbox, which is taking a pejorative swipe at spam the food. It's basically saying that junk emails taste like one of my favorite meat products, which I don't think is very kind. An app. A-P-P. That's a word that did not exist as such until apps started becoming...
that's short for application.
For application. These words are from current society and culture. Brangelina, BFF, which means best friends it's become a word now, best friends forever.
Yeah.
Chillax, which is chill and relax, which sounds sort of cool. Like, I'm chillaxing with my other...
You don't have to try to sound cool.
I'm a chillax.
You're failing.
Am I embarrassing, Alton? I bet
You're
I am.
embarrassing.
Staycation. Staycation. To stay at home and have vacation. All right?
On vacation.
Words can come from many sources. Politics, sports, education, technology. But in every case, the words need to be embraced by current culture and repeated in order for them to become a part of the current lexicon, which is why you guys need to jackety dancing it up all over the place. I want you guys to stand in front of the White House, jackety dancing together. And when people say, what are you guys doing? You say, we're jackety
dancing.
All right, we're going to start something here, you guys, but we need your help, okay? I'm not sure if you want to touch on the pandemic, but you'd be amazed at how many words are scheduled to be added to the Oxford English Dictionary resulting from the coronavirus. All of these terms are new and mostly neologisms. COVID-19, social distancing.
That's a name.
Well, but it's become iconic. It's become something that is a cultural phenomenon that is beyond just the name, I think is what Jennifer is saying. Social distancing, elbow bumps. That's a thing that has become popularly known. That term is known now.
Everybody now knows what that means.
You could have elbow bumped before, but now it's become of necessity a thing. Self-isolation, and many more. Lastly, some words...
How about the Rona?
What?
That's how some people refer to the coronavirus.
Oh,
they call it the Rona.
I've never encountered that. Where am I not going that I should be going?
You're not going to mommy blogs, probably.
No, I am not.
Yeah.
I'm not going there. And I'm glad if I'm going to have to encounter the Rona. Okay. Lastly, some words are created just for the fun of it, and there are annual contests to find the most entertaining new words. To Robbie's point, many of these are puns and wiggle into a very sophisticated, that's a way of saying maybe not for children, space that I'm certain you'd prefer to avoid on this program. Okay. I just found one new word. Smonday. The point of the day on Sunday when you begin thinking about what you need to do for the next day or work week. Smonday. I suggest families create their own lexicon of neologisms. We absolutely do. We have a bunch of words that we just know. Brunch
pork
is
chop.
To
pork chop.
To go pork chop.
Pork
We'll
chop.
explain that at some point. Brunch is another common word. But what do you call the meals when they are merged? Lunch and dinner. Some people call it linner.
We call it linner.
In nearly every case, necessity is the mother of invention. That's a really famous phrase, you guys. It means that the best way to solve a problem is for there to be a problem in the first place. When you have a problem you have to solve, you have to come up with a solution. Necessity is the mother of invention.
Need. Necessity is need.
You innovate when you are forced to,
when you have
by
to.
circumstance.
Now, I would like you guys to look this up for sure.
What?
I feel like, was that Thomas Edison said that?
Said what?
Necessity is the mother of invention?
No, I think it was Frank Zappa. His band was called the Mothers of Invention.
Oh.
That's why I said that. I don't know who said necessity is the mother of invention. I don't think it was Edison. I think it was someone else. Can someone look up who said the phrase necessity is the mother of invention?
Yes.
I hope the kids have fun with this, and looking at how language is used in their own homes might be useful. You guys think about the neologisms in your house.
Yes.
What secret vocabulary do you have that just you and your family would understand?
Yes.
And if you went out on the street and used it, people would look at you funny.
People would be like, what are you talking about?
Jennifer concludes by saying, I'm such a language geek. We love you for it, Jennifer. I'm producing a new project for the Garfield that you will hear about very soon. The Garfield is our local theater where Jennifer directed the production of Annie that Alden was recently in.
Yes.
So we have met, and that Robbie and I made a brief cameo appearance in one of the nights.
We were on stage together.
Anyway, thank you, Jennifer. We salute you for your thoughtful
fantastic.
email.
Yes, that was a good little...
I would like to submit that Jennifer did some very good research this week. It may not have had to do with adorable animals, but it did have to do with thought-provoking words, which to me are just as adorable as adorable animals. All right, let's move on. Move on. What does that say? Oh, we are going to... what does that say?
Sharing of first two neologisms.
We received two installations of the neologism contest yesterday. And
Plato said it.
The contest, awesome.
What?
Good job, El Puppy. I wonder if someone else has said it since.
Well, obviously, whoever put in my brain that Thomas Edison said it was giving Thomas Edison way too much credit, just like he always took. He always took too much credit. Look up Thomas Edison. He was kind of a crook.
Is that true?
Yes.
I did not know that.
He stole all of Tesla's ideas. We made everything AC instead of DC, or DC instead of AC, and did lots of things to make lots of money.
There was not an item...
He did invent some things.
There was not an item on the agenda for Robbie gets cranky and besmears the good name of Thomas Edison. But I'll add that for tomorrow.
Obviously, Thomas Edison was scalping off of Plato, too. There we go. Sharing the first two neologisms.
L Puppy and H Puppy came up with neologisms for what you say when you see something adorable. And I want to share them with you because I think they're such great examples.
They're really good.
Now, I don't want to steal their thunder for later in the week, but I wanted to inspire you guys to follow their good example. So anyway, we have Aw-cutable. Aw-cutable, which is a combo of aw-cute and adorable. Aw-cutable.
Aw-cutable.
I really like that, El Puppy.
I think that's so
All right,
funny.
H Puppy said...
Combo of... Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
That's a combo of aw and precious.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Aw-cutable.
I think...
Yeah. What do you think?
Buttons.
Yeah?
Aw-cutable.
Oh, and Megan. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, well done. Well done. More. We want more, you guys. Don't let it stand as
Look,
it is right
Edison
now. El
didn't
Puppy
even
and H
invent
Puppy
the
are the
light bulb.
winners. What?
Edison didn't even invent the
All
light
right,
bulb.
somebody tell us about that. We will maybe inventions can be a theme some week. I think that would be really cool. Okay, Robbie continues
sketching and refining
if need be. But you finished.
I don't even know what I'm going to draw.
All right, Matthew
reads chapter 2 of Wonder Undercover.
I feel like we should do that before we run out of time. Okay, and if we have time to go back and look at Robbie's sketches some more, we will. But for now,
Waylon is going to text Thomas Edison.
Well, that's a real trick, Waylon. Yeah.
Oh no, we're having two conversations.
Oh,
sorry.
I see. All right. He is, as they say.
Yes,
dead.
It was Tesla that invented the light bulb.
All right. Table your discussion of inventors for the moment. We are going to have a look into the life of Moxie McCoy, and Milton McCoy. Okay? We got some pages to read, dudes. All right?
Wow.
All right. Chapter 2.
Yes.
Tiddlywump's Finest. The next morning.
Wait, can I read?
Would you like to read?
Thanks.
I could really use a break,
All right.
actually. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. And I'm going to get to hear your adorable Milton voice, which makes me very happy. All right, here we go.
Here we go. Chapter 2, A Tiddlywump's Finest. The next morning at breakfast, Milton is reading the newspaper. Not a first grader's book about puppies, not Jim and Jen eat jam, the actual newspaper. Look at this, he says. I do not want to look. I'm busy thinking about meringue, that delightful fluffy substance that lives atop my 7th favorite kind of pie. Look, he insists. I glance in the tiniest, bareliest way so I can say I looked at Milton and will have to be quiet. Someone broke into the local house of history last night. This is shocking. The local house of history is a source of pride for all Tiddlywumpians. Breaking into the local house of history is like kicking a duckling. What happened? I asked. It says the chief historian was working late when he heard a loud crash from the basement. He called the police, but by the time they arrived, the intruder had disappeared. A horrible thought occurs to me. Is Columbus okay? It was on my 2nd grade field trip that I first encountered the bronze statue of Columbus, an extremely noble pig who once saved town founder and notoriously heavy sleeper, Marcus Tiddlywump, from certain peril by dragging him by the leg of his pajamas to the safety of the cyclone cellar as a tornado approached.
Ooh.
Columbus is okay. Whew! What was stolen? That's just the thing. Nothing seems to be missing. Milton looks appropriately baffled. That sounds fishy. I agree. Milton looks appropriately suspicious. Does it mention any clues? Just that a basement window was left ajar. Who's the lead detective? Wait, don't tell me. Is it Multani? It's Multani. He's Tiddlywump's finest. That's what they say. Detective Multani cracked the case of the clattering convertible, unraveled the mystery of the moldy mausoleum, and exposed the thoroughly unlawful maneuverings of the Tiddlywump 7. If Multani is on the case, I consider it as good as solved. But Milton looks worried. Why would someone break in and not take anything? It doesn't make sense. I am tempted to remind Milton that criminals often don't make a lick of sense, as in Annabelle Adams' Girl Detective Volume 49, Cause and No Effect, in which a notorious criminal mastermind spends 7 years plotting to crack the unbreakable vault and the labyrinth of unthinkable complexity, and, when he finally succeeds, steals only a plastic mood ring, leaving the great mound of rubies and diamonds untouched. As far as I know, there are no rubies or diamonds at the local house of history. Its noble offerings feature mostly just photos and colonial knickknacks. And Columbus, of course. Come on, I say, it's time for school. But Milton's eyes are glued to the article, drilling for information that does not seem to be there. Later at school, my teacher, Mr. Shine, sits on the edge of his desk, like he always does, asking us questions instead of teaching us things. I like Mr. Shine, and his class is loads of fun, but I wonder what'll happen when I get to 5th grade and I haven't learned any of the stuff 4th graders are supposed to know. Instead of thinking hard about the many important differences between similes and metaphors, I am pondering my new case, which is made all the more delicious by the fact that my client is sitting to my right, and my primary suspect is sitting to my left. Both Dubliners are making faces like the sky before a thunderstorm, which is not unusual, but today they are looking right past me and shooting lightning bolts at each other instead. At first recess, I find Milton at our bench, where on a normal day our detective agency, M&M Inc., would meet with clients and discuss ongoing cases. But since we are 100% focused on our new case, we tell the long line of kids to get lost, and we talk to Emily instead. Emily is not officially part of our agency because the pressures of detective work give her gas, but she is smart and full of good ideas, and always willing to help us think through puzzles when we're stuck. Here's the problem, I say. I don't want to get within 20 feet of a Wonder Scout, but I cannot solve this case without getting extremely close to a whole room full of them. I think of Annabelle Adams, Girl Detective, Volume 43, No Me Gusta, in which Annabelle poses as the long-lost daughter of the famously irritating Senora Conchita del Albondiga to get her hands on the secret blueprints to the Gran Secreto Albatros Mecanicos de Caramelo. To pull it off, she learns Spanish, dyes her hair to match the Senora's, and pretends to enjoy petting extremely small dogs. I suddenly know what must be done. To solve this mystery, I need to think like a Wonder Scout. To think like a Wonder Scout, I need to be a Wonder Scout. What do you mean? Asks Emily. I must infiltrate their ranks. I must learn their secrets. I pace like a detective does, back and forth, head down, hands jammed deep in my pockets, a look of intense discomfort on my face. There is no alternative. I must go undercover. Emily makes a face of concern. Milton gives a shriek of delight. Yes, he says. His eyes grow wide as he contemplates the possibilities. You'll need to look like a Wonder Scout. But what does a Wonder Scout look like? Asks Emily. Like a conniving, underhanded Dublinger. That's not exactly what I meant. You'll need to act like a Wonder Scout. How does a Wonder Scout act? Like a backstabbing, sister-betraying Dublinger. Emily gives me a disapproving look. Wait, she says. I have an idea. She walks over and starts to chat with a girl I don't recognize. Who's that? I ask Milton. Henrietta Bork. She's in 5th grade. Really? I swear I've never seen her before in my life. Henrietta ambles over about as swiftly as a tortoise with a leg cramp. So, Henrietta, says Emily, Moxie's curious about Wonder Scouts. What can you tell us? Henrietta shuffles her feet and gives us a few good ums before saying, Wonder Scouts is an organization devoted to the education and empowerment of optimistic young women through activities and experiences that promote strong values, bolster inner fortitude, and invigorate the spirit. Only young women of sterling character may join. The words roll off Henrietta's tongue as if she spent long hours practicing them in front of a haunted mirror, while it slowly devoured important pieces of her soul. The three of us stand there, a little bit stunned. Thanks, Henrietta, says Emily. No problem, says Henrietta, as the tide carries her slowly back to sea. Optimistic young women of sterling character, I repeat. Sounds like I'll need to look, I don't know, wholesome? Impossible, says Milton. Here, says Emily. She removes the rubber bands from my pigtails, takes off her headband to put it on my head, and pushes my hair around before smiling and saying, Not bad at all. I peer into the tiny mirror I always carry in case I need to signal a rescue helicopter. I look like a 10-year-old preschool teacher. No, I say, because no. It's perfect, says Milton. No way. I may be a detective, but I have my principles. It's what Annabelle would do, says Milton, making the one argument he knows will always get my attention. Of course, he's right. And Annabelle wouldn't stop with just a preschool teacher hairdo. She'd put on preschool teacher clothes and learn preschool songs and eat nothing but preschool teacher meals for a full week to cultivate convincing preschool teacher breath. I know my mission, and I choose to accept it. Tammy has given me her $1, and in order to deliver the justice she demands, I must go undercover. And, I think, by infiltrating the Wonder Scouts, I will gain access to the top-secret knowledge needed to bring an end to the evil organization once and for all. Future generations will thank me for my noble deeds. It is possible that someone will carve a statue of me, but hopefully with my regular hairdo and not my undercover preschool teacher look. Fine, I say. I'll do it. Milton and Emily seem pleased. But you need to come with me. Oh, that's me, sorry. But you need to come with me, I say to Emily. I'm a lot worried about what might happen if I am left by myself with all those Wonder Scouts. I could be eaten alive. Or worse, forced to hug a Dublinger. But Emily is not wearing the face I hope to see. Sorry, I gave Wonder Scouts a try last year and decided it's not for me. You did? I am shocked, as if Emily just admitted to having a secret sister named Linda. Henrietta asked me to join. I went to a few meetings. Why did you quit? Organized group activities give me gas. I wonder whether Emily needs to see a doctor to discuss her questionable intestines, but mostly I'm relieved that, despite being the nicest person I know, Emily shares my opinion of Wonder Scouts. I turn to Milton. I guess it's you and me, partner. Milton has spent a lot of time insisting I call him my detective partner, and I am delighted to have a chance to use it against him. He turns the color of an Oreo's insides and gives me a look that says, Wonder Scouts is just for girls. I give him a look that says, but this is your golden opportunity to break new ground by becoming the first ever boy Wonder Scout. He gives me a look that says, thanks, but I'm pretty sure the Dubliners would not be okay with that plan. I give him a look that says, it was worth a try, wasn't it? He gives me a look that says, I guess so, but can we get back to the matter at hand? What are you guys doing? Asks Emily, who apparently needs to hear actual words to understand what we're saying. Milton and I have decided that I will be the lead detective on this particular case. And that I will offer logistical support, Milton chimes in, which is just his fancy way of saying that he will sit around eating cupcakes and crackers while I do all the hard work, and that he will take the clues I collect and spin them around in his great big blender of a brain until a theory pops out. Apparently Milton is not done. And I will continue to monitor the developing situation at the local House of History. The local House of History? What happened? Demands Emily, who loves local history almost as much as Milton does. Milton tells Emily about the break-in. Is Columbus okay? She asks with a gasp. He is. Whew. Is Multani on the case? Yes. He's Tiddlywomp's finest, you know. That's what they say. I leave Milton and Emily to their chatter, because I am confident that Detective Multani will have caught the culprit by the time we get home from school. I turn my full attention to the case of the treacherous twin. I glance over at the Dubliners, who are playing tetherball with about as much joy as dolphins on a flying trapeze. I study their movements, their facial expressions, their impeccable ponytails. It will take more than a headband to complete my transformation from the magnificence of McCoy to the wickedness of Wonder.
Dum, 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 dum. Good job, Robbie. Thank you for reading today.
I'm not going to be able to show you all of the things that I like about this chapter.
It is 2 o'clock.
It is 2 o'clock.
Do you want to take a quick gander into the chapter? Do you want to show a
I'll
thing
just show
or two?
one thing.
Because there's such despair at it being 2 o'clock that we could milk a moment or two longer for our friends here today. Yes.
The one thing that I really like is... Oops. Beep. Oh, sorry.
What are you trying to show?
I'm trying to show you the dolphins swinging on their trapeze.
Oh, are they clamping it with their little dolphin teeth, their little
nubbly nubs? And then look at this one. Look at this one. He's falling off. He's like, oh no.
How do you know? Maybe he's doing a trick. Maybe it's time for the dismount.
Maybe it's
and
time
he's going
for
to
the
do some sort of glorious back.
I just thought that was so funny.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Robbie, you made it through,
I
feeling
did.
your very best.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. And
thanks, man.
I am going to sign off with Megan on my shoulder because it is the week of adorable animals. And I am not an adorable animal myself, and so I have to invite a friend to join the fray.
I do want to remind everyone.
What?
You need to turn in some adorable animal research.
Turn in your research or Robbie's going to fire you.
Yes.
You guys don't want to be fired by Robbie. There's all sorts of negative consequences, a lot of paperwork you have to sign. You have to sit on a very uncomfortable bench, and there's no severance package. You get put out in the cold with nothing. Mm-hmm. All right. Now we're getting reminded of the time. All right, friends, goodbye. 2:01 p.m. We are out. We're outie. Isn't that what you say? If you're cool, if you're on fleek. Are we still is on fleek?
So here's a question that I would like somebody to do some research on.
Okay.
What's the difference? Are like things like on fleek?
Yeah.
Like, what are those called? Like
hip phrases that Matthew uses?
Hip phrases that Matthew uses. Are those neologisms or are they just slang? Like, is slang different from a neologism?
You know who I want to explain this? Jennifer, get to the bottom of this. Are phrases like on fleek that I think arise because somebody uses them on a YouTube channel and everybody's like, ah!
Any kind of slang. Is slang...
Does a neologism have to persist? Does it have to enter the vernacular and stay?
Is groovy a neologism?
No, I don't know. I think neologism is by definition a new word. Groovy was once upon a time, probably.
It's still a word.
No, but it was once a neologism. Now it is a word. I think there's a newness. There's like that new word smell about a neologism. And that over time it just becomes an accepted part of the... I think so. Because the words that Shakespeare once shoehorned into the English language hundreds of years ago
are now
words that are so common that you were surprised.
Was it amazing?
I think it was amazing.
That's crazy.
All right, everybody's trying to make us go.
Amazing.
All
right. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, friends. It was real. It was moving.
Just go.
It was touching.
Everett says just go. You guys are welcome to go whenever you want.
You are not being held captive here, my friend. Robbie and I are going to stay on till 6 o'clock tonight. All right? And if you guys are still here, that's on you. That's on you, my friends. All right. I'm actually going to go. I got some things to do.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.